All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to CryptoSafu Space. Tonight's topic is going to be about mistake in technical analysis. What do we mean about mistake in technical analysis? This means that what are the most common ways of you making a a wrong financial step when it comes to making your analysis, concluding on your decisions, and uh in general when you are trying to trade. So one of the number one important thing is you have to consider this as the most important thing. Don't make the mistake of not taking profit. You understand? Don't ever make the mistake of not taking profit. You thinking that, oh, if I put $100 here, it will get me $1 million. Please, it is a very, very big mistake. You are already putting yourself in a very high risk situation. So one of the mistake is people are not taking profit. Like when you are not taking profit, then you are not cutting your loss. Okay, so just note this. When you are not cutting your loss, it is one of the first mistake you are going to be making. And not cutting your loss means that you are not trying to look at it that I can lose. When you enter a trade, you have to have the mindset that I can lose. You are not like you are not like God chosen to come and just win on everyone on the trade. Everyone is on the trade to win. So you have to consider that. And the game can go other way. Like it can go sideways. And what happens is you have this money that you are using to trade. Do you just want to lose everything on a single trade? No. So if you are entering a trade, try to consider that where at which particular point am I going to stop losing? If my guess or my approach is not aligned with uh what I have planned initially. So one important thing is try to cut your loss. How can you do that? When you want to enter a trade, create a stop loss plan. That okay, if I enter with $100 and my $100 is going to give me $200, that is what I propose. But at the other end, it started reducing. I have a stop loss plan that okay, when it deducts to $80, $90, $95, I have to leave that trade. Why? It means that my plan is not working. So I have to leave the trade and focus on something else. Otherwise, if we get carried away that it's a lie. Some big people are coming to buy it. Then when they buy it, it starts going up again. No. Consider your own strategy first. I have $100 and I don't want to lose more than so amount. That is one of the things you need to do. Cut your losses. So know that when I start losing to this point, I have to like cut my losses. So that is one important approach. So learn how to cut your losses. Number two is don't overtrade. If you are trying to, be too smart about how you are trading, then you are going to be like you are trying to act too smart, over smart, like okay, you are the best trader. This is what happens when you overtrade. Probably you enter with $100, then you notice that within maybe 1 or 2 hours, you gain $100 more. So that gives you $200. Then you feel like, oh, you have arrived. Then the $200 plus another $1,000 that you have kept to pay your school fee, your your house rent, you now add everything together, making what to and enter the trade back. Then that is where you are making the mistake of your life. That is when everything is going to collapse. It is something that occurs every time because at the point that you have made profit, don't forget that a lot of people are also waiting to sell on you. So you thinking that because you made $200 now, you can enter again and make more. It is what we call over trading. then you are making a mistake. So when you have the opportunity to reach your goal, take your profit and leave the trade, or you strategize in a way that makes sense. Maybe when you have $100 more profit, you can take $50 out of it, leave $50 in the trade for the next leg, or you reinvest another $50 at the particular strategy again. But you touching the money that was not meant to be on the trade, but you trying to be like, oh, I now know how to trade, and trying to overdo it, that is where there is going to be problem. So the third one is going to be about this one. This one is something that happens to all of us. Like, it really happens to all of us. Why? Because we don't always want to lose. So what is it? It is called revenge trading. Probably you enter a trade with, I'm still going to be using the $100 as an example. You enter a trade with $100 and you get to a point that the trade starts coming down. It starts coming down, you start losing. And you already make a loss that is so big. Then you are trying to be like, this trade, I cannot leave it. You are getting too emotional to it that I have to find a way to just come back. And I, probably when you are trying to do that, you'll be like, let me put in more money. When I put in more money, I'll be able to recover the loss and even gain much more profit with it again. Then you start getting emotional, very, very emotional on the trade. And having emotional decision is not good on a trade. You can't be on a trade and be having emotional. This is not a love or relationship situation that you start getting emotional about a trade that, oh, I have to be the one to make all the total profit on this trade. No, trade is a pool. Everybody is coming with that different strategy. So there is no one you are revenging. You are actually just hurting yourself. If you are going on a trade on a revenge mission, probably you enter with $100. You tried all the previous method to prevent all the mistakes. But what happened at the end of the day? You get to lose maybe $20 out of your $100. You now feel like, oh, I have to find all means to gain my $20 back. You don't have to come back in form of, okay, I have to make sure that I get into the trade, I make $200 more, and let them know that what they do to me. Then when you are trying to think about that, you are thinking about revenging on the trade. And these people don't know you. They don't even know when you deposited the $100. So you are only going to be hurting yourself because you'll be making rational decisions that is going to give you more loss at the end of the day. So you don't have to be emotional or be doing a revenge trade. So you have to stick with your plan. When you lose your $20, take your loss and just go. Stick with your decision. Don't feel like because you lost, you have to come back to gain. No. Then whatever plan you've made on the trade does not work for you. Just remove your money first, relax, think again. You can enter the trade at any time again. So that is how to be a good trader or to perform a good technical analysis. The number 4 one is, another thing is, you've already make a good plan, you've already followed your technical analysis decision, but all of a sudden you are starting to have a rational decision. Like, you are starting to have a change of mind. Something that you already entered the trade to make $200 profit. You now start thinking of making $1,000 profit. Don't forget, there are some things that you checked earlier on before you were able to decide that, oh, I can make $200 more on this profit if I enter with $100. So it can give me $200 in total. But at some point, you feel like, now, I think because I've been able to make $50 profit at this point, now this my decision is the best decision. Like you start thinking that your decision is the best ever. So then you start changing your mind that no, I'm not going to stop at taking my profit at $100. I'm going to stop at maybe when it gets to $500 more. That is going to be where another problem is going to be coming. You understand? Like you are trying to prove that you are the best. So not trying to mix it up. What I'm trying to say is that don't try to like be stubborn when it comes to you trying to stick to your initial plan, and don't try to be stubborn when you need to also change your mind, when you need to change your plans. So when you need to change your plans, you need to take the immediate step. So don't try to be too stubborn that oh, I'm not going to stick with my plan. I'm going to make sure that I'm the champion of this trade. No, be able to stick to your plan and be able to also change your mind. Like for example, when you are monitoring a trade and you notice a downward trend, and you notice that you couldn't hit your $200, I mean your $200, your $100 profit you wanted to add to your initial invested capital. So it started giving you like $50, $60 in profit, $70 in profit. And you notice a downward trend coming back to give you 60, 50, 40, 30. At that moment, you must be able to change your mind that I think I need to leave this trade with just $30 profit. Rather than being stubborn that no, it is going to go up back and give me back my 200. So you don't need to prove stubborn on a trade. Just like be cool and make sure that you are ready to take and change your mind at whatever point on the trade. So another thing is also uh you trying to ignore market conditions. So market conditions varies. Like there are a lot of things attached to market conditions. We have emotion, psychology, everything attached to market condition. Market condition is determined by you having maybe surge in people buying a token on a trade, or a project on a trade, or probably maybe people selling a lot of token on a trade or project on that trade. So you have to be able to follow what is happening on the market. You don't have to ignore whatever that is happening on the market. For example, you enter the trade, you notice that there are 500 orders. And the moment you enter, up to 50 orders started selling. And you are seeing it on the trade. But you feel like no, they don't know what they are doing. You are trying to avoid it. You are trying to ignore the market condition. You are trying to still feel like they are the one that are losing. I will be the champion. I'll be able to make my own profit and leave. Like what is happening? You don't know. You are just there looking at the chart and looking at what you've written down on the paper. You don't even know what is happening to the project for 50 people to have left. So in that case, you have ignored the market condition. You have ignored what is actually happening that have made 50 people to leave the project. So in that case, you need to see what is happening. Because when 50 people leave a project, that means they sold, it is sending a wrong signal to the trade. So you have to see that no, the resistant or strength of that particular token is going down, because that is when you see a very long red candle. So, and for people who know about all these indicators, then you see that the RSI strength is going to be low, like the relative strength index. When you are trying to check the RSI on that trade, it is going to be low, but not talking about too much of time. It is something that we can just use our own normal thinking to determine that when 30 people are leaving a trade, then definitely you see a red and massive sell flow on that particular trade. So you have to be careful. Go in and check carefully what is making people to sell, and why do you still need to hold, or why do you have to still stay on the project. So if your reasons what that okay, you stick to your plan, then you stick to your plan. Otherwise, don't ignore whatever that is happening on the market, on an open market. You have to follow whatever is happening on the market. So yeah, that is so important. So now another thing is, like, before we start talking about this our technical analysis discussion, I said something that for me technical analysis is just like something that we need to consider as one of maybe 100 options before we enter a trade. So if we know that it is one of 100 options, then we are going to see that this technical analysis of a thing. So if we say that as one of the options, we are going to notice that technical analysis of a thing is most likely a game of probability. So, and if it is a game of probability, it means that um you don't get to actually see 100% of what you are trying to set as your goal. So you have to also know that there is a risk of losing out, even if you have done all of your analysis correctly. You can see, okay, when projects like Luna, when FTX, all these big projects failed, there's no amount of technical analysis that can be done to prevent such occurrence. So you need to know that sometimes your technical analysis is just for you to get your risk management factor properly, and also to reduce your risk, and also have something we call like a calculated risk. Otherwise, know that technical analysis is a game of probability. You are just still trying to gamble, but you are trying to gamble at a very safe um you are trying to do it at a very safe procedure or steps. So now that is what you have to do. You have to know that when I'm doing my technical analysis, I'm also still considering a lot of probability, a lot of factor into my trade, so that you don't actually get yourself to be blamed at the end of the day. That is why they tell you when you are trying to enter a trade, make sure it is a money that you can spare, because when you lose it, you don't get too worried about it. So you don't bring a money that is meant for you to pay your rent into a trade. You don't bring a money that is meant for you to pay for your basic needs, your bills. Then you bring it to trade. Then you feel like people will help you out. No one is going to help you. It is your decision to have come on the trade, because if you have won, you are not going to share the money with anyone. And if you are losing, then there is no need to cry with anybody as well. So you cry alone, you win alone. That is the whole idea. And number 7 is, don't blindly follow people. When it comes to trading, that is why they always say that do your own research. No matter what, do your own research. No one is perfect. Even if you see us dropping a signal in that our group, you still have to do your research. We try our best to do every research possible, but just like I said before this, it's just that there is nothing that is 100% sure when it comes to trade. We only try to reduce risk and loss. That is what we're trying to do. Why trying to make profit? Otherwise, don't blindly follow traders. Don't just feel like these people or this person are very good, I can put my whole savings on them. That when they drop a trade, I'm not going to lose on it, or they are not going to lose. See, you can be so lucky at 100 times, but on an unfaithful day that you are unlucky, it might really hurt. So you have to know that doing your research is very, very important. That is why we are teaching ourselves to know what to check out for. When you see a trade signal, when you see a trading opportunity to make money, don't just jump to it. Don't just jump to it, because if you jump to it, you'll jump out. So you have to consider yourself on how to be a successful trader. And these are the things that are very, very important being a successful trader. So in my opinion, I feel like all these points are the points that are crucial to us not making mistake when we are doing our technical analysis, and they are points that we don't need to take with levity. And so in conclusion, we need to understand that when we see things like trading and all, when it comes to trading, you have to know that you have to take it with a full and clear mindset that this is a process that is going to take time, practice, a lot of strategy. You have to know where your strength is, you have to know where your weakness is, and you have to control your emotion when you are on a trade. And you have to make the right decision at the right time. So with that, you are not going to make huge mistake that will cost you a lot in the future. So on that note, we are going to be ending the whole discussion on we can um how we can try to avoid some mistakes that can be made that we can make when we are trying to do our technical analysis. So to everyone joining the call, we are moving to the section of our question and answer, where we are going to give and award the best answer and the fastest person to answer the question a reward for that. So, and tonight the question is going to be dropped in the group. I'll be dropping it in the group. So you have to be very fast. I'll give everyone like 3 to 5 minutes to type in the answer to the question. So just list the 7 mistakes that are the 7 common mistakes. So 7 mistakes. These are the 7 mistakes in technical analysis that can be that are possible. All right. So that's the question. All right. So please provide an answer to the question. It's already in the group. Just type in your answer to the group. So question is, list the 7 mistakes in technical analysis that are possible to be made. I think I'm using the correct English. List the 7 mistakes in technical analysis that are possible to occur when trying to. All right, so we need the fastest answer. 7 mistakes in technical analysis that are possible to occur. List it, please. There are 7. Like I've tried to mention 7 of them, and you have to be very, very fast on this. So the winner is going to be announced shortly. So you have like 3 minutes to go. Type your answer fast. 7 mistakes in technical analysis. So anyway you understand it, but just try to be on point with it. So I mentioned up to 7. So you have to be very, very fast, because we need to close it so that people don't start trying to look for the answer online. So that is why we say, okay, you can just reply to the answer in your best possible understanding. So 7 mistakes in technical analysis that are possible to occur. Fastest person to give the answer to that. So please, you have to be very fast. So drop all the answer at once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is 6. The Emily, you can join. Okay, I am. You listed 3, 4, 5, 6, and we said it is 7. But don't worry, that is your answer. So, cryptomania. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So, who is providing answer? We have a few minutes to go. All right. So let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Provide your answer. Provide your answer. We need to pick the winner. Yeah, good. I'm liking everyone answer. Yes. Okay. All right. So I'm expecting one more person to drop the answer. So we already have I am Cryptomaniac Imex. So we have like okay, so if you still feel like you want to drop an answer, in next 1 minute we are going to be closing this and pick a winner. So please let's be fast. Trading with emotions. So all right. I'm waiting for someone. Okay. I'm actually not going to be picking people that try to look at the answer online. So because I wanted you to just express it based on your own understanding. So let me see. All right. So do we have anyone that wants to drop an answer? You can request to speak or unmute your mic to speak. So I'm going to check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Trading dimensions, not known to hesitate trade. All right, I'm trying to see. I think we are closing the option to drop an answer now. So yeah, we're not accepting any new answer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think this is all going to happen. What is going to happen? Um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, awesome. So this is what is going to happen. I'm going to be picking the answer based on who was able to express the way he or she understand it the best way. Because I probably could see that some people were trying to get the answer online. So I'm not going to pick that for as a winner. It's more or less like a cheat. So I'm going to pick Emex as the winner for tonight. So congratulations, Emex, you are the winner for tonight. Tonight question and answer. So you were able to like just express it the way you understand it, not following your initial strategy. Yes, not knowing when to exit a trade is correct. That means that you are trying to overtrade. So following trade updates blindly, that is ignoring the market condition. Trading with revenge, yeah, that is like revenge trading. So trading what you can't afford to lose is more or less like still the same answer as not cutting your loss. Okay, that is correct. Going into a trade with the mindset of being the best trader, that is like following uh trading with emotions. So for Emex, I'll pick Emex. So you were able to like answer it correctly. So Emex, send us your wallet address. And yeah, congratulations. So for everyone who have participated, we really appreciate, and it is just like for us to get encouraged about what we're trying to do and to see if we are catching up. So because I think cryptomania would have just been the best answer for us, but it was more or less like a very straightforward answer for what is available online. Likewise, online. I mean, but it is fine. So it is the most important is for us to understand what we are doing and to be able to express it in our best thought. So thank you everyone. We appreciate you for being on the call tonight. So if you are yet okay, Crypto Maniac was about to speak. All right. Okay, so Crypto Maniac, yeah, on the call. You have the mic. So if you want to speak, you can request to speak. Crypto Maniac, you have the mic now.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So, following the subject of this course, I want to ask a question. Like, do we consider DCA a good trading strategy in line with the discussion for the night?
What is that?
Oh, dollar cost average.
Do
Probably
we
it means
consider
you're
it
probably
as well?
buying at every dip just to catch up with the market movement.
What this is what happened about trade. See, there is no amount of technical analysis we want to do. There's no amount of terms we want to bring together. One important thing is just to have gathered a lot of maybe insider information as possible. That is the most important, and probably following the correct news that is not misleading. So if we can do that, then we won't be too emotional on trade. So because there are sometimes we feel like we are buying the dip and that is not yet the dip. So if you are using a strategy of buying the dip, you have to be careful as well because you trying to buy a dip might not be the actual depth of where the dip is going. So a dip can still have another dip. So that is what I feel like. But if we are because the trade are so emotional that if we are not being careful, we just fall into a trap of these traits. Like for example, there was this token that was dropped in the group few days ago, which was Day token. So that type of particular token is a type of project that was 100% manipulated. That if you are not careful enough, the way you could make 100x is the way you could also probably get to be deducted by 100x. So it's just about getting your strategy correctly and following the right and best information available. So and trying to cut your loss is another best approach. Even if you are going to buy the dip, set a way of cutting your loss. So when you can do that, then you'll be at a very good advantage. Hope it answers your questions.
Yeah, sure, sure. Yeah.
Because I've also tried to be like, I've been in that position that I feel like buying deep, but sometimes it happens to me that I buy one dip and it's even dipping again.
Mhm. There,
So
okay. The reason I said there was a point in time when I actually did that, though it failed at some point and worked at some time. Probably there has been so massive deep, then I
mhm.
ended up buying the deep, and it helped recover my initial loss faster. So that's why I asked the question actually.
Yes, sometimes that is like what I feel. It works sometimes, and sometimes it won't work again for you. So, like for example, someone that is trading future and is trying to use the deep strategy to trade future, thinking that okay, for Bitcoin to be going down, it means that that project will be going down, and all of a sudden the project went up, or is not meeting to his strategy again. So something like that is also another example of using that type of strategy. So I feel like the best thing is just to try to follow news, and that's why we post a lot of news on the group. Because if you enter with a news at a very perfect timing, you get to make uh, a better decision and you get to make profit. I'm sure of that. If you have the good information about a project and the news about the project and you enter with a very perfect timing, you definitely going to make profit out of that project. Like there was a moment when this Beat Boy was fighting with Ben, their popular Twitter influencer guy. So for them to be fighting, it means that something is going to go wrong with Ben coin that time. So if you are following the trend, you know that there's going to be deep on that token. Then people quickly take advantage of setting loss, future loss trade on that particular token, and it worked out. So, for example, today now, SRP won a case against the US SEC government. So, if you try to quickly long XRP on future, it is going to give you your profit quick, and you have to get out very fast. So, those type of information are very important and key to your trading decision, because sometimes more than 50% of people on trade are emotionally attached to the trade. So for you to be a professional, you know that I'm not going to be emotional. What you have to focus on is your liquidity. Your liquidity is your fund. Make sure that a trade does not take all your funds. That is most important. So like at this point, we're also going to open the floor for anyone who is interested in asking any questions so far before we wrap it up for tonight. Don't forget to follow us on our Twitter space. Our upcoming Twitter space is on Saturday, and it is going to be interesting too. So, Twitter space, check the pinned tweet on our group. And yes, don't forget to keep up with it. All right. Oh, we have someone who is not winning anything, but you joined late. Mili, do you want to tell us anything? Welcome to our class section tonight. All right. I'm going to open the floor. Do you have anyone with any question before we end the call, please? Mili, Emily, everyone, do we have anyone with a question, please? Okay, so if we don't have any question, congratulations once again to Emex and everyone who have participated in our question and giveaway section tonight. Please understand the fact that we are only trying to encourage each other on learning and understanding things better, and we are trying to share knowledge with ourselves. So and this is more or less like a platform where even if you are also having something to share with us, feel free to share with us. We are open-minded to learn together. So if you have a trade and you feel like, okay, this trade is going to help every one of us, share it with us. Let us confirm the possibility of joining the trade to make profit together. So that is why we've created the group, and that is what we are working towards. Let us all try to use crypto safely, and also along the way we can make money using the information we have, using the knowledge we are able to gain, and doing proper research. Like, you don't have to just check on something quickly that because a lot more people are making money on it, we need to jump on it. No, we need a proper research, and everyone needs to understand how to carefully do their own research as well. So on this note, we are going to be ending today's class section. And tomorrow, let me quickly check what we have tomorrow. We have a timetable now. Yes, that we are going to be following. So let me get across the timetable and share with you. We are going to post it officially on the group as well, so that we all know our activity beforehand. I'm coming. All right. So our weekly schedule is going to be like this. On on Monday, we are going to be having our Twitter space. Our Twitter space will contain or will be a discussion on any of the topic we voted to discuss. Then on Tuesday, we are going to be having our class section plus giveaway. And on Wednesday is going to be our quiz and end. So I'm going to be having quiz and end on Wednesday. Thursday is going to be hand on practical. Either we have our hand on practical or Twitter space. What is going to be happening on Thursday when we have hand on practical? This is when we visualize things together. We try to check trades. It can be trades. It can be how to do something. We just try to do it together while online. Then people can share their video, and it can probably be the host sharing his or her video to guide everyone on how to do it properly. And on Friday, it's still going to be a class section plus giveaway. And on Saturday, it's going to be a Twitter space. So on Sunday again, we are going to be having hands-on practical or Twitter space. So we want to make use of Twitter space as effectively as we can, because Twitter space is always interesting, and what we discuss there are always very interactive, and the discussion are always even more educative, and people speak, and we can have opportunity for people to join externally to also discuss. But our private group is a closed one, whereby we are just trying to make sure that we are filtering the kind of people that are here on this private group. We don't want to just add anyone here. So that is why it is private. So if you are being here, like, we are closing the group to be in a private way. So it's not public. So at this point, thank you everyone. Don't let me get you bored. We'll continue our discussion in the group. Congratulations to the winner of our giveaway tonight. So, bye bye, everyone.